Shout out to Cats Pod.
1 second. A good defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? We're trying out something new today. We are recording remotely for the first time, and like everything else we do, we have at least 15 to 16 different technical difficulties every time we're trying to set anything up. So it's been a little bit janky, to say the least. Definitely a little bit janky.
And you're definitely the only one with any real technical knowledge here, so it falls squarely on your shoulders.
Yep, it's definitely all my fault. No matter what happens, it's definitely all my fault. We can't agree on that.
Yeah, I'm not a tech guy.
Not a tech guy. Definitely not. So, the first thing we wanted to hit on, it's been a long time since we recorded. That is mainly my fault, you know. I'll put that on me. I think that I can squarely take the blame for that one because I had the great thought that we went to record up in Valier, and I didn't set up the mics correctly. So we recorded an entire episode where you could hear me just fine, but you could barely hear Eric the entire time. So I spent like 30 minutes trying to cut apart the audio and raise up his voice and everything before I decided, yeah, I'm not doing this. I had made it like 5 minutes in at that point. It's like, this is going to take 6 hours to edit an hour and a half podcast, so it's definitely not worth it. So,
yeah, it was a good effort, though. It was a good effort.
Yeah. The Cat Spot has been a learning experience all the way around, you know.
It really has. Ooh, an Alani on the menu, huh?
Yeah. Really, I'm drinking like a big boy tonight.
Yeah. Big boy had a big day.
Big boy drinks only, you know.
Yeah.
So the first bit of news we really wanted to talk about was the fact that we have Nostradamus in our midst. We have someone who knows the absolute future. And Eric, do you want to tell us what your prediction was and how it came true?
So a while back, I was saying that, you know, when with all these coaching changes, we needed to bring Sean Chambers back and put him in somewhere, anywhere within the offense. And guess what? He's here.
He's back.
He's with the team.
Just when I thought I could get away, they bring me back in.
Yeah, he's back, and I feel like it's going to be a perfect fit. I mean, he obviously did extremely well here. He understands how to play football and how to – hopefully it translates to coaching. But, you know, I just can't help but wonder if people aren't listening to me when I talk.
They might be. I'm pretty sure. Didn't you, like, tweet at him right away? I think you tweeted at him about being the quarterback coach as soon as either Chucky left or when the first search started.
I want to say it was back like at the beginning of the year when we were doing like the postseason episodes.
Yeah, that was probably it. I think that's when it happened. But I just remembered vividly you tweeting directly at him to like join the coaching staff and stay on. Like, they're looking for people. They're trying to get people on right now. So just go for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he followed your advice, you know?
We spoke it into existence. That's all. Yeah. That's all that matters. I like this coaching staff, man. I think it's really well rounded. I like the fact that it's made up of former players, a lot of them. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty cool. I feel like the guys can really respect that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the leadership across the board is great.
Yeah, they put the time in with the team. They've done their, you know, taken their lumps along the way, and they just kind of understand how it works and how you know, just how a football team operates.
Yep.
Especially that specific football team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool and fun to watch and see kind of how they groom him along and whether he moves up or moves elsewhere or what.
Mm-hmm. I mean, right now, how far away are we sitting from Bobcat football?
We are sitting at 10 days.
10 days. from some Bobcat football.
Let's go.
How does it feel?
I didn't, when the season ended the way it ended, I didn't think we'd ever get here, and here we are, right on the brink of Bobcat football, and I can just taste it.
Yeah.
But
it's coming right in fast, and it's like I did not think that it really snuck up on us because it feels like it was 3 months away for like the last 6 months. And then all of a sudden we look up and it's like, oh, we're 10 days out. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait for this game, man. I love that the Bobcats are favored to win this game.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we don't step on our own toes. I just don't see it happening, but I cannot wait for a week 0 football game.
It's going to be so fun to watch. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I've been looking forward to it so much. It's almost as much fun as watching your face freeze up on this FaceTime, which I'm sure that the crowd is going to be enjoying as well. The audio is great. Don't worry about the audio. You're coming through crisp and clear. I got the audio on you perfect today. But something to do with the FaceTime is not agreeing with us, but the audio is there, and that's all that really matters. It's an audio platform. When we put this thing out, all audio, people are just going to be like, what the hell was he talking about? And then they're going to be asking for the Snyder cut. They're going to be asking for the full video cut of the podcast. We're trying to create demand out here.
Bear with us, folks. Ben's trying.
I'm trying my bestest, okay? So we talked a little bit about the leadership on the team, and they announced the captains. The 6 captains for this year's team. Across the board, great dudes. Some first-time captains, some people that have been around for a while at this point. So it's good to see that mixture of new guys coming in as captains, but also people that have been with the program for a long time.
I think this is Tommy's 3rd year.
Yep.
So, he's been a captain for a while, and then you got a couple newcomers with Rylan Ort and Marcus Weir and Justice Perkins.
Yep.
And then you have the guys from last year with Brody and
Danny Yu.
And Danny Yu. I think that's a pretty solid group, really.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, pretty much everyone you think of when you think about who could possibly be a leader on that team, and that's kind of who they chose for their captains.
Yeah. It's a good mixture of guys that it seems like everybody really likes on offense and defense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's going to be
guys on the team.
I'm sure those with Justice trotting out there with them, there'll be a few jokes on the way to the coin toss.
Oh my, it'd be so fun. And with Marcus Weir out there too, that's going to be like just a roast battle at the line right there. They're going to be flipping the coin, and it's just going to be like just jokes flying left and right. They won't even know what to do with themselves.
Speaking of Justice, I saw he got hurt in the scrimmage.
Yeah.
Sounds like possibly a high ankle sprain, maybe 6 weeks.
Hopefully shorter, that definitely sucks. Like, that's the worst thing about being a football fan, any kind of football, is when you have those preseason injuries where it's like they didn't even get to the real thing. They didn't even get to watch you get to the real thing, and then all of a sudden now it's like, oh, you're out 6 weeks. Like, that sucks. But I mean, silver lining slightly, you would rather have something happen right now rather than happen right at the end of the season.
Well, yeah, and it would be nice to have him for the New Mexico game, but we're not going to need him for Utah State or not. Is it Utah State, right? And what is it, Mercyhurst in Maine?
I think
those should all be blowouts. So we really shouldn't need him around for any of those. And then we had a bye week in the middle of that. So he's got lots of time to heal up. A couple pretty easy games.
Yep.
And aside from New Mexico, this, like you said, is probably about the only time you can tolerate, you can deal with an injury like that to somebody of his caliber.
Oh, yeah. And as trash talkers, we always have that thing that we can jump back at people with where we go and we beat them without Justice Perkins.
Yeah, there we go.
Without the point guard of our O-line, we still beat you. You
Yeah.
don't even need to be at
Without-
full strength, and we still got you.
Yeah. So speedy recoveries to Justice. We're
yeah.
gonna need him. We're gonna need him after the scrubs we play the first couple weeks.
Yep. Those Lobos, you know, the New Mexico losers, you know.
I just love that anytime you look at, a prediction or whatever for this game, they say, well, they really haven't done very well the last few years, but they hired that Bronco Mendenhall or whatever his name is.
Yep.
And that's like the only thing they have going for him is this coaching hire.
Great
everything
name.
else,
Yeah.
everything else is like all about their losing records the last 3 years and how terrible they've been. And, But they got Bronco. They got Bronco.
They did get him, though. You got to remember that always. First and
Yeah.
foremost.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we had here, we had our friends at Hero Sports that give us more content than we deserve. Let's be real honest about it.
Yeah. Yeah, they do it. They go above and beyond for us.
Oh yeah. Whether we like what they say or not,
I don't know what you thought about that prediction. And I get, so they're claiming 11-1 on the Hero Sports for the Bobcats for the season.
Yep.
And I agree with it for the most part.
Yep.
It just, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fan in me that just kind of got pissed off when they said we were going to lose to UC Davis.
Like, it was a weird way to choose how the season was going to go. Because they pick us to be winning and rolling forever and ever, and then just randomly drop one to UC Davis, but also beat the Grizz the next week.
Right.
Like, it's a bounce-back game, maybe. Like, that's all I could explain about it. But it's just a really odd way to guess out the season. I mean, obviously, we are both highly, highly biased, and we're 12-0.
Yeah.
We're 12-0 and the season hasn't even started yet. Like,
we're
there's no
going to
way
go
I would
13.
look at one of these games and seriously think, like, no, we're not going to win that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it makes sense, that the chances of going undefeated are so, that's so hard to do.
Oh, yeah. It's
hard to believe that would happen, but I guess I'd rather have it be an away game at UC Davis than a home game Idaho or a home game Grizzly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Shoot me if it's a Grizzly loss, please.
That is something I don't know if we could deal with again. The last one was hurt too much, and if we're talking as much trash as we were last year, and I expect that we will be, I don't think that we definitely bring everything upon ourselves when people start talking trash to us, but
yeah.
At the same time, I really hope I get to continue talking trash,
Yeah. Yeah. So, just a quick rundown of the Hero Sports. They have New Mexico as a win, Utah Tech. It's Utah Tech. Win. Maine, win. Mercyhurst.
Maine, the revenge game,
Maine, the revenge game.
Going back.
And we'll be there.
Yep.
We will be there.
We'll be there
for that
along with you.
Mercyhurst, that's not even a question. That's going to be
shakes. They don't give you the Shamrock shakes right now. You're not Shamrock shaking in your boots every time you hear Mercyhurst's name.
Here's a little game we're going to play on the side for Mercyhurst. For every Mercyhurst fan we see in the crowd, you have to take a shot.
Oh no. That's not gonna. I'm gonna be sober, so it's like.
I bet
be it.
I bet it might be like 2.5.
2.5.
Be like a mom, a dad, and a baby or something.
And that's them cutting to like their family section that they awarded tickets for, and only 2.5 of them show up.
I really hope the Cats can fill the stadium on that one, but I sure wouldn't blame them for not totally filling it.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited, even as a student, for one of those games. You know.
I mean, I know they'll give the starters the start and let them get some reps in,
Mm-hmm.
but this feels like a game they should maybe start with the third stringers or something,
Yeah.
just to make it a game.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I'm pretty
Just
sure our third
start
string would
with the
still
third string.
mop the floor with them.
Yeah.
The next one
Chance
is
Wilson just throws for like 700 yards.
yeah. The next one's at Idaho State, and they're calling that one a win too.
Yep.
They're saying it's going to be a close win though.
Yeah.
Very,
Don't sleep on the Tigers.
I guess. I mean, when was the last time anybody ever said that?
Us last year. After they almost beat the Grizz in like week 3. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
At least me. I don't know if you said it, but I was like, don't sleep on those Bengals, dude. Don't sleep on them.
I mean, they're calling this a potential for a shootout.
I love a good shootout. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Just give me a good time.
Well, you know me. I like those stress-free wins. I like those Mercyhurst wins.
Yeah. I like those like 55-52 wins. Those really get my blood boiling.
Back to the D. McGee days.
Oh yeah.
Every game was 55-52.
The cardiac cats.
Yeah. Next one versus Northern Colorado. They're calling that a win, and they wrote 7 words. Montana State wins big on its homecoming. That's it.
Yep.
That's all they put.
That's what they think about the game. And the Bears, like, are we still rooting for the Bears this year? Because I feel like last year I was just pulling for them to get a win every single game, and I kind of want them to get one win this year.
I do too.
I'm pulling for
just
them.
one, but not against us.
No,
that's going to be a stress-free.
It's homecoming. Come on, you know? As Hero Sports told us, it's homecoming.
And then our gauntlet starts.
Yep.
Idaho is the first game. We get them at home. And we just got to pray things go better than last year.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say about Idaho. If we lose to Idaho 2 years in a row, I can't even think about it. The Cats are so much better. The Cats are so much better than Idaho.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like a blowout or anything. I'm sure it'll be close, but in fact, Hero Sports calls it a slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker. You know, I was going to say that if you didn't. But the thing is, this is going to be a big game. Isn't this this is the ESPN game, right?
Yeah, it's a 8:15 p.m. kickoff.
Yep. It's going to be a late one. It's going to be exciting. I feel like MSU is a team that really has something to prove this year because there has been a lot of hype around them, and we've seen all the hatred online because the Cats are getting so much hype. I can remember like the weekend I spent going back and forth with people, the team that has the most hype with the emptiest trophy case. And I just like kept going back and forth at these dudes with just saying ridiculous stuff. It didn't even really make any sense, but I was just trying to stir the pot, being that guy. And a game like that against Idaho that's on ESPN that is at prime time, I feel like that is a moment where a lot of the players are going to take that and use that motivation. And I think they're going to have a pretty good game that week.
Well,
Injuries
and it's
depending, but I would see it being a big game.
It's a great time. I mean, it's October 12th. The weather should be perfect for a football game. It's late. The fans should be good and tuned up by that point. I mean, it should be loud, pretty rowdy. You know, should be great weather, I would sure assume. Under the lights, it's a perfect time to get a huge win.
Yeah.
I need them to win.
Yeah, I need it. I need it more than anything right now. All I need is this win, and that is it.
Yeah. The next one is at Portland State, win. I mean, and Hero Sports says right on their deal, Portland State plays a gauntlet. So, I mean, I don't think Portland State would be enough to worry about if they played an easy schedule, but
Yeah.
going through what they have to go through, Dante Chachere ain't gonna have it.
Not today.
Still love the name. Still
Not
love the
today.
name.
You know, you always got to. And we're going to have fun saying his name that week. I know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Portland's
Yeah.
the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
The Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of them. I can't be
And
afraid of
then-
any team named the Vikings.
The worst part of the podcast is about to go on right now. I apologize to the listeners because I'm about to tell you that we have to go play on that terrible red field the next week. I'm sorry. I don't like it. You don't like it. It's murder on your eyeballs.
Yep.
But here we are, going back to Eastern Washington.
Yep. T's and P's to all the Cat fans out there whenever we have to go to Eastern Washington.
I hate that field.
It's the worst.
Who on earth says, okay, let's build a football field, but, grass, we don't like green grass, so we're just going to put red turf in. That sounds good. That sounds like a good plan because everybody likes red turf.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves it, right? It's like, what is it? Is it red from the blood of your enemies? Are we trying to go like just full barbarian with this thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you
So
feel about the
apologize.
blue turf of Boise State? Do you also hate that?
At least it's not red.
Yeah, it's cool. It's not red. Blue's cool. Blue's cool.
Yeah. So once again, apologize to everybody. I hate to be the one to tell you we got to go to that field. I really do. Then we get Sacramento State at home.
Yep.
Should be a good one. A really good one.
Mm-hmm.
I would sure think. I mean, Sac State's been pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But not good enough.
That was a pretty exciting game we played against them last year. I could see a repeat of that where it plays close for a good half of the game, but then we end up pulling a few scores in a row and pull away a little bit. I could see that being a repeat of last year.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be. I mean, I remember last year's when we recorded after that game, it was kind of one of those, they had the legs to run for a little bit, but couldn't keep up over the course of the whole game.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how it'll be.
Yeah. I just don't know if their defense is going to hold up to what it was last year, and I think that would be the major problem for them because their defense wasn't amazing last year. And you kind of got to wait until the actual season starts until we start getting to watch some of these teams. Shout out to ESPN Plus for letting us watch all these games all across the country all the time. But yeah, it's really tough to tell until you can actually see what the team looks like on a field.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think that by the end of that game, it's a couple score win.
Oh, yeah.
14 points probably.
Yep.
Assuming we hit our extra points.
Yeah. We're not having that problem this year, okay? We're no longer having that problem. You don't even talk about special teams. Sorry, Marcus.
Here's the point of this article that just gets me. The Bobcats are riding high 10-0, and they finally get caught.
Yeah. They're just building a narrative, like, out of nowhere, out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like we do for, like, an hour and a half right now, but I'm going to make fun of them for it,
I mean, if the Bobcats roll in 10-0, which they should, and injuries haven't bit them at all, I'm not sure UC Davis is good enough. I mean, they have great players. Len Larison's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure if the Cats are firing on all cylinders, if they can hang with them.
Yep.
I mean, the Cats should be great.
Yep.
I mean, this is the year. And going in 10-0 with a healthy team, I mean, it's hard to expect anything other than a win. I hate to put too much pressure, but gosh, it just seems like the time to you stack them up and get another win here down at UC Davis. But
Yep.
Hero Sports says otherwise.
This is making me feel like the coach off Friday Night Lights. Because I'm like, I don't want to expect too much from you. All I expect is perfection, okay? Be perfect. You go out there on Saturday nights, boys, and you be perfect every single week of the season. Because we're going 12-0, baby. And we're winning that Texas State championship. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess we'll see if the Cats can tackle their running back. I don't see how the Cats lose.
Yeah.
Call me a homer and biased or whatever. It's just it just doesn't seem like if they're healthy and 10-0 that UC Davis could derail them. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I definitely don't see it playing out that way for sure.
And then the one we all been waiting for at a ripe time of noon on a Saturday.
Oh, yes.
Noon. Terrible time.
High noon in Bozeman, Montana. We're meeting them out there, middle of downtown. One mob versus another mob. Then we're just going to go at it.
So one thing I will never understand is why they insist on doing Cat Grizz at noon. It's one of the most historic rivalries in all of college football and probably the biggest game all year long in the FCS, including almost every single playoff game.
Yep.
And they make that a noon kickoff? Noon? Noon's terrible.
They don't want to let us pregame too much. If they let us pregame too much, there's going to be problems. They know who we are. They know what Montana fans are like. If they let us pregame, it's not going to be good.
I'm just saying, if it was at 2:00, it'd be better even.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Or
I would love it.
6 p.m. on ESPN would be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get game day back.
We possibly could get game day back. Maybe they'll push it back if we do get game day, but I don't know. I just feel like that can't happen. Just a year separated, but it would be amazing if it did. I would love it.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
I hope that game day comes back, but there's no way they'd come back that close together. It doesn't seem like anyway. But, I love what Hero Sports says.
Mm-hmm.
Bozeman gives MSU the edge.
They do.
And yeah, that's about all I want to say about the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
Is they're going to lose.
For me as well.
Maybe by that point they'll have their quarterback situation figured out because from everything I've heard, from what I've heard, they're running a 2 QB system.
Oh, I wonder where they got that idea from.
Yeah, they think Bobby Houck is smart enough to figure out 2 QB system when he can't even figure out a 1 QB system.
Yeah, that's cute. I mean, that's something where it all depends on the players you have. If you have a big cat and a little cat, you can do something like that. But you can't just be a coach and decide, oh, we're going to run a 2 QB system. And what is the versatility of those quarterbacks?
I mean, that's what hampered the Grizzlies at the beginning of last year. They couldn't settle on a quarterback. And if they go into that with 2 quarterbacks and they don't put their faith behind Ayat, that kid's going to leave. He's better than that.
Yeah.
Find somebody that'll play him.
Oh, yeah.
But
somebody
we'll
will
see.
Give him playing time. If the Grizz don't, somebody will for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Hero Sports 11-1 is what they're claiming. Mm-hmm. I'm claiming 12-0.
12-0. 12-0, baby. Perfection. That's it.
And you could say 13-0 because they've won my heart.
They've won my heart, so they got a baker's dozen when it comes to wins. Let me tell you what, brother.
That's a big win, man.
That's a big win. It took a long time. It took 31 years to win this heart.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Lots of disappointments.
Act like they didn't have it all along.
Play hard to get.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's what you got to do with your football teams.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Hero Sports.
Yeah.
I don't hate 11-1 at all, though. I really don't.
They were trying to get cute with it. They were trying to make a list that wasn't the same as everybody. Because you would think anybody who's going to try and be like objective and talk about this team is probably going to say they win everything and maybe they lose in the Brawl of the Wild because anything can happen. But
Yeah.
I'd like, at least they didn't go that route and they chose like UC Davis to beat us, which is insane in my mind. But also, we haven't watched a single game yet. And before we watch a single game, everything's perfect for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess time will tell. And like you said earlier, it's almost time for Bobcat football. Thank God.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I cannot wait.
Yeah. It's so exciting. I can't believe it's been this long, and it feels like it was just yesterday that the season ended.
I think it's just put such a bad taste in your mouth the way we lost that game.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to get over it.
Yeah, it's hard to leave that one in the past for sure.
It made me really mad in my first fantasy football draft that I drafted Christian Watson strictly because he played for North Dakota State. That was the only reason.
Yep.
I didn't like it.
Didn't enjoy it whatsoever. I would think if anybody, you would be biased enough not to make that pick because there's no one in the world that hates NDSU more than you.
I know, and I texted you during the draft, and because I was hating myself for doing it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what you're doing either, but I was like, I also don't know how to draft a dynasty fantasy football team, so I have no idea what I'm doing either.
I also ended up drafting 6 FCS players. The draft was so long, I just started searching them out. I got Hayden Hatton, Jalen Coker, Alex Singleton, Christian Watson. There's Isaiah Davis.
I felt like you missed out on one when I was looking at your roster, though.
Well, I was going to take Lance McCutcheon, but...
No. Plays for the Falcons.
Oh, Troy Anderson.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I was like,
I didn't
when
even
is the Troy
think about
Anderson
it.
pick coming? I was waiting for it every single moment. I was like, he's going to pick him eventually. Like, it's going to happen.
Oh, man. I can't believe I missed that one.
I know.
I think it's because I don't like the defensive player thing. But, yeah, big miss on my part. I took Singleton and forgot about Troy Anderson. Shame on me.
Shame on me.
Shame on me. Shame.
We'll make up for it next week and throughout the season with all the love that we're going to give to the Bobcats throughout this year.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any great predictions for this season outside of the record?
I mean, great predictions. I really think that old Brody is going to make a run for the player of the year. Mm-hmm. I really do. I really think the Buck Buchanan's coming to Bozeman. I mean, he was such a stud last year. It's just hard for me to believe that he isn't going to get better. Mm-hmm. So that would be my bold prediction is going to be Brody Grebe wins the Buck Buchanan.
Yeah. I think the player I foresee having a great season just because of the situation of the team right now and what it looks like the offense is going to start going around is I think Ty McCullough is going to have a crazy statistical year.
That's not a bold prediction, Ben.
I know. I'm going with safe predictions today. Safe predictions only. You know? I think it's going to be a massive year. Even though they added different wide receivers and they're going to be able to spread the ball around, I think that he's going to get a lot of end zone touches. I think he's going to get a lot of the balls in space because he has so much experience with this team and so much experience as a wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to have a monster year, no doubt. Yeah. He had a great year last year, another year to build on. This time, there's only one quarterback. It sure seems like it's his year to truly have one of those, Lance McCutcheon type years where, he's the dude, the dude all the way from start to finish. I feel like that'll be Ty McCullough this year.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I love some
Yeah.
offense, and this team gives me so much offense to cheer for. I just love it. You know?
I figured you were going to say Julius Davis like a season rushing lead or like an all-time season for rushing yards.
I thought that I would have the entire season to just make googly eyes at Orange Julius. Okay, I thought that I would have the entire season just to be saying the most ridiculous things and yelling Orange Julius Davis. So I thought this week I might give it to our boy Ty McCullough because he is a big supporter of the podcast, but also outside of that, objectively think he's going to have an amazing season.
Yeah.
You know? I'll talk about Orange Julius more throughout the season. Don't get me started about Orange Julius.
Can you imagine opposing defenses when your 1-2 punch is Orange Julius Davis and Scott Trey Humphrey?
Yeah. And when after that, all you have to think about is covering the 3 wide receivers, and then also, oh wait, Tommy can run if he has to.
Yeah.
He could run anytime, but we're saying this year you only run if you have to.
When it's wide open, go for it. But for the love of God, protect those legs.
All right.
Please.
We need it.
Yeah.
We need it so bad.
Yeah.
Stay healthy, please.
Everybody stay healthy, please.
Oh yeah, everybody on the team. We're wishing everybody to have a great season this year. There's not a single player that we would ever root for their downfall. It just isn't a thing.
No.
It's not in my DNA.
Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all I had.
All right. I think we're definitely going to hit you next week after the New Mexico game. We're going to find some way to record. I'm going to be in Florida, and Eric's going to be in Montana.
Yeah.
You're going to be at the ranch. I wasn't sure if you had to travel somewhere or not. I forgot. But we're going to find some way to record after the game. We might be able to sneak in a quick episode that's just pregame in New Mexico before that. But if not, you guys will hear from us right after that game for our big weekly episode to start out season 2 of the Cats Pod.
And maybe on our next episode, it won't take us an hour and a half to get everything set up to record.
Yeah,
we might be on our A game. You never know.
We might try out our A game for once. See how it feels. See how those shoes feel. This is the preseason for the Cats Pod. It's the preseason for the Montana State Bobcats. That's all I got to say.
Oh, one last note. In case anybody wants my betting advice, which I don't suggest you take, hammer that 4.5 points for New Mexico or for the Bobcats.
And if you want more great picks like that, I'm sure that we'll be dropping some more picks on either Friday night or Saturday morning before the game.
Yep. I'll have mine up.
Yep. We'll get those all posted. We'll start doing all of our weekly stuff. We'll get excited for football as we already are. We're not getting excited. We're just going to keep climbing right now. It's just going to keep going up and up and up and up and up.
We're trying to temper our expectations just a little bit, but it's not working.
Yeah, we're tempering our expectations. 12-0, baby. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say natty or bust. I said 12-0.
We might win a couple games by single digits, I guess. This is what's so fun about the preseason is just the fact that there's everything's ahead of you and you can just say whatever you want, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's nothing to kind of rein you in at all. You just go for it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CatsPod. Make sure you give us 5 stars wherever you are listening to this at. And thank you for bearing with us as I learn how to get the production of this podcast up and running while we do it virtually. Because the remote recording is not something that we've been trying to do. Also, we try and do everything for free, so that doesn't help either. We try and do everything without spending any money whatsoever. It's a great business model,
Yeah, bunch of tightwads up in here.
Yeah. Have a great week, everybody. Game week next week.
Adios.